Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about ethical and legal issues in digital media. In an earlier time, finding information often required hours of research, and copying had to be done by hand. Copies of photographs, records, and movies were far less quality than original work, making them less desirable. But now, because of the internet, things have changed, and all of that have made copying everything easier, right? From text to images to recordings and videos. However, just because it's now easy to capture the work of others does not make it right to do so without permission. Digital media specialists have to be very aware of the negative consequences that come when using work done by others. Understanding concepts such as intellectual property is the first place to start in building this awareness. Some of the key terms that we're going to be looking at today are ethics, intellectual property, copyright, and fair use. Some of the learning outcomes are going to be explaining the concepts and challenges of intellectual property, including copyright, identifying the responsibilities and controls related to digital media, and the demonstration of proper use of fair use policy. The first question is, what are ethics? Ethics are moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of an activity. So there are ethics in every realm of your life, just as there are in digital media. Intellectual property is a work or invention that is the result of a person's creativity to which a person has rights and for which one may apply for a patent, copyright, trademark, etc. So intellectual property is anything that you think up, create, or make. Copyright is the term that literally means restricting the right of others to copy. Copyright protects intellectual property. You've probably seen the symbol before. It is a C with a circle around it, standing for the symbol for copyright. The copyright symbol itself reminds users that the work is protected, clearly establishes the date when protection begins, and makes it easier for someone to seek permission to use the work because the owner is named. So copyright covers the following intellectual properties: audiovisual works such as TV, movies, and online videos, music and sound recordings, written works such as books, articles, and lectures, visual works, paintings, posters, and ads, and video games and computer software, and dramatic works like plays and musicals. Now, copyright goes into effect once the work is created. So let's say you wrote down a song. Suddenly, you now own that song that you've written. Copyright is now in effect once you finish the work. For a creative work to be legally protected by copyright, it does not have to have a copyright notice on it. Copyright lasts the creator's life plus 70 years after death. So if we make anything today, in 70 years, that copyright will then expire. Some examples of intellectual property lawsuits, one of them being Barbie versus Bratz. This has been an on and off going feud for a long time about each other stealing each other's ideas, clothing, styles, etc. The tattoo artist Victor Whitmell sued Warner Brothers for the tattoo in The Hangover 3 because of the work of his tattoo. He was upset because Warner Brothers did not give him the credit for the tattoo or paid him copyright fees. There was also a lawsuit with this image and this poster. The photographer Manny Garcia sued Shepard Fairey for using his image for Obama's Hope campaign and claimed, because in the end, Shepard Fairey made tons of money off of this image, and Manny Garcia did not make any money really off of his image compared to how much money Shepard Fairey made, and wanted a little taste of that money and success that came along with the image that he used. Fair use laws avoiding copyright infringement. So fair use is limited copying or distribution of published works without the author's permission. It's typically okay to use others' intellectual property works if you only use a small amount of the work, add new meaning to the work or make it original, rework it and use it in a different way, and use it for non-profit purposes. So you're not making any money. So if we think about sources like TikTok, the reason why you're able to use the small 15-second clips of sound is because you're only using a small amount of that work. But the reason why you can't use any more of it is because that's when you get into copyright infringement. To help clarify some of this a little bit more, we're going to go ahead and watch this video here.
In today's digital world, it's easier than ever to copy, paste, mash up, remix, download, and publish content. People's writing, artwork, videos, and images can be inspiring, but they're also easy to take without thinking twice. When people treat the internet like a free-for-all, legal and ethical situations can arise. That's why it's important to know about copyright and fair use. It would help you give and receive credit where credit is due. So what's a copyright? Copyright law protects your control over the creative work you make. It requires people to get your permission before they copy, rework, or share what you make. Most things that you find, download, and copy and paste from the internet are copyrighted. That doesn't mean that everything online is on lockdown and can't be used. It can, as long as you check who owns it, get permission to use it, give credit to the creator, buy it if necessary, and use it responsibly, then you're not stealing. Now, there are times when you can use a small part of someone else's copyrighted work without permission or paying a fee. This is called fair use. Fair use only applies when using content in certain instances: schoolwork and education, news reporting, criticizing or commenting, and comedy or parody. Specific guidelines, what we call the 4 points of fair use, must also be followed. First, you can only use a small amount of the work. Second, you have to add new meaning to the work to make it original. Third, you need to rework it and use it in a totally different way. Finally, you have to use it for nonprofit purposes. In other words, you can't make money off of your new creation. No matter what, it's a good idea to give credit to the creator of the work you use. It's just a sign of respect. So what should you do if you find something online that you want to use? As a rule of thumb, check who owns it, get permission to use it, give credit to the creator, buy it if necessary, and use it responsibly, which means judging for fair use. You're a creator, innovator, and inspirer. Think twice about your rights and responsibilities in our online culture, and then pay it forward.
So hopefully we have a better idea about the ethics and legal issues regarding with digital media.